While we have the brain here, before we do the dissection, first I want to point out some features of the brain and also talk a little bit about the directional references that we're going to use during the dissection. With the brain, you can see that we have this very, very tough outer covering of the brain, and this is called the dura mater. This is the most superficial of the three meningeal layers, and it provides a substantial amount of protection to the brain. Also, I want to point out that this side of the brain here that you can see is called the dorsal side of the brain. Over here is anterior. This is where the nose, the front of the brain would be located. And following along the dorsal surface here, we go to the posterior part of the brain, and this is where the spinal cord would be attached. If we flip the brain over, now we can see the ventral side of the brain. This again is anterior, and this is posterior. The ventral side has a lot more detail to it. You can see that there are many cranial nerves coming through the dura mater at this point. So we have a cranial nerve here, and here, and here, and we have a couple of cranial nerves here. And we're going to point those out later on when we've finished the dissection. Another feature that I want to point out, because we have the dura mater attached, is that we can also see the pituitary gland right here. And this is fortunate because if you get brains with dura mater removed, often the pituitary gland is not there. So I want to take the opportunity to point that out here. Now, the pituitary gland is a very important gland. It's an endocrine gland, so it's not technically part of the brain, but it does work very closely with the hypothalamus, which is located in the brain. So this is the pituitary gland here.